As I turned 40, I realized that what helps us upgrade our life again and again, and what determines the quality of our life, is not our upbringing, is not our intelligence, determined by one thing only. And in neuroscience, it's called selective attention. And let me explain how it works. Imagine that you are in a market with a friend who's wearing a red jacket, and you are paying attention to an item. Should I buy the red scarf or should I buy the pink scarf? While you are questioning this, you turn around and you realize your friend is no longer near you. And the first thing you do is ask the question, where is my friend? Where can I find like a red jacket in the crowd? And you remove everything else from your attention and you're just looking for something that is red. So the kind of questions we ask is going to determine what kind of answers we get back. Therefore, when maybe you found yourself and someone asked you a question and you said, good question. It's a good question, feels good, is revealing something for you. Something that you didn't know, something that you didn't think about. And this is exactly the kind of questions we ask determines the quality of our life and determines how we build our mindset as well. So, for example, you ask the questions like, what is wrong with me? Why is it so difficult for me? What you are doing, you're just steering and you become more unclear, more uncertain about yourself and about how life works. But what if you would ask, like, what are my strengths? What is it that I want? These are more empowering questions. Now, I want to share further 3 main questions that really were life-changing for me. And it really helped me to upgrade my mindset and upgrade my life. The first one was when the kids were small and I put them to sleep. I was alone at home with the kids. I lay down on the carpet in the living room. I was thinking about my life because I was burned out. I was exhausting. The discussion I had with my husband was we couldn't find a way out of the way we wanted. I wanted him to come earlier at home. It didn't seem to be something possible. I wanted more help with the kids. I didn't know how can I get out of the current situation. Thinking about that and about my routines, and when I feel like a hamster, always like cleaning, cooking, laundry, taking kids out. I was thinking, how long is this going to be like that? Because at the same time, I know the kids are growing. I know they are going to become more and more independent. So while thinking about kids, I realized that they have this joy for life and curiosity. I said, like, how come I'm so drained? I'm so empty inside. I don't have that. I want my husband to be happy. I want my kids to be happy. So what brings me joy? Was the question. So therefore, I went about my days looking for things that are bringing me joy. I start searching inside, questioning inside as well. What made me happy when I was a kid? What made me happy as growing up? While doing this questioning in this direction, so many things have revealed. The more questions I ask around this, the more I've learned, the more steps I did take in this direction, I became more confident, more stronger. I had bigger impact on the people around me. I was capable to actually feel like with my gifts, with my strengths, I can be of use without feeling like it's a drain to me. It's very important to take the time and question what is your thing. Stop focusing on what are my flaws and thinking that fixing the flaws is going to give you the confidence. The second question that was quite changing for me was one evening, my husband coming home. We were very stressed. We felt like we don't have the life we want, and it was so painful and frustrating. The finances were not far from where we wanted to be, and the way we interacted with each other was like more blaming, more focusing on the lack. So that evening, I asked a different question. Instead of, why are you again upset? What's wrong? I asked let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think we are? And he said at 4. inside I was like, how dare you? Like, I'm exhausted. I'm trying to find a solution. But because I already followed on my first question, like, what brings me joy? And this question is from Solution Focus Coaching. And I said, like, what makes it a 4 and not a 1? That made the focus on what is already good instead of focusing on the gap between 4 and 10. Right? Because this is what we are already doing. We are focusing what we don't want. We are focusing on what the other one is doing wrong and what they are not doing, they're supposed to be doing. So basically we focused on that one. And he started talking, right? Like saying, how we raise our kids, how confident and happy they are, how we met, our own values, how we did like our wedding. At one point he said, like, I think just by focusing on these things, I think we are already at 8. And this is the power of actually focusing on what is already working, what is already good. Because this is the same thing. If, the foundation is not good, not strong, how do you expect to build something good further in the future, right? This is actually the framework, right? Like we've changed the question towards what is already good. Then we focus like, what would the 10 look like? What is actually the life that we want? Because when you are stuck in a kind of what we think, what was our normal, you just think that if you remove the bad, you're going to get the good, but didn't have the pictures of what the 10 would look like. No clarity about it. So then we started to actually build some clarity around that 10. Like we want to travel, we would like to move countries, we'd like to give our kids the opportunity to more of an international experience than actually living in the same city my husband grew up in. And those conversations are more exciting, are more energizing. And then focusing on like, how would we recognize progress? What is going to be a sign like, look, we are moving in the right direction? When we do that, by repeating the cycle, helped us like with the project, helped us to move actually countries. We improved our relationship. We adapted faster to setbacks or challenges or unknowns just because having this kind of focus. Now, the third question that was very relevant to me was, who is part of my future? What I was thinking that how life should be or how some relationships should be. And I was dragging those expectations, right, on how you should have your relationship with your father. This is my example, my case. We have this desire to have really great relationship with our parents, and we always crave their love and their acceptance, appreciation, and recognition, right? I'm really grateful because I came on the other side. I feel lighter, I feel happier. But because I didn't want to have a relationship that is not authentic, I didn't say the things that bothered me. I didn't say the things that it affected me. It's not coming from blame, but it's actually coming from no longer hiding, not feeling like yourself or pretending that things are not bothering you or not affecting you. I had to address those, like bring them in the open, and as a result of it, it didn't come with more love and acceptance, it came with rejection. I knew that I made the right decision for me and for my kids because I didn't want to expose them to the same toxic environment that I grew up, and I had to work years to actually heal and understand and be at peace and an acceptance with how things are and now how things should be. Therefore, I had to let go of focusing on the past or focusing on an idea of how things should be, and focusing on the future, who is part of my future, my kids, my husband, people I work with, people I can actually align on the direction that I am building my future. Because I cannot do things and change someone that doesn't want to do that. So I had to let go. I had to learn that. I am really grateful for where I am. It is nothing to blame, nothing to forgive. Everything has to do with acceptance on how things are, how they were supposed to be. That gave me peace, acceptance, so I hope that makes sense to you too. Maybe you have difficult relationships when you don't feel like yourself. And when you address that, you have to accept the consequences that they might not want to interact with you anymore. This is the power of asking questions. So when you ask these questions and you go and look for it, you are going to find the answers. The answers are going to come your way as well, because you're going to spot them, things that you haven't seen before. If you get into a room that is dark, if you turn on the light, you feel more confident. Instead of getting in a room that is dark, you can't turn on the lights and you wonder what's lurking around here. Stick around if you want to learn more. If you have any other questions for me, please let me know. I will be happy to expand on any context that you want to implement this power of asking good questions. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.